Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. So this is a part 2 of a SQL in Salesforce. In part 1 we see that what is a SQL and syntax for SQL, and we also see a few example of that. So if you haven't watched that video, you can find the link in the description box or on the top right corner of this video. So let's move to this. So let's see what we gonna cover in this. So first we are going to talk about the different type of SQL. Then we're going to talk about the aggregate query. After that we will talk about the polymorphic queries, and then we talk about the some limitations of SQL. Different type of SQL. There are two type of SQL: parent to child and child to parent. So for parent to child, we called as an inner query also. In that, while executing a parent's query, we can get the data from the child also. So whenever we want to retrieve the related child record for a particular parent or a set of a parent record, then we use this concept of a inner query. For example, if you want to retrieve the contact related to particular account, then we will use this SQL like select ID and select ID name from contact. Remember that this is a plural name of a contact, so we'll use that if it is in the inner query from an account. So in this query, contact is a relationship name. So for standard object, it will be plural of the label. If you go on the Salesforce, let me open a Salesforce. So if you go on the contact, let's search for the contact. Click on the field and relationships, search for the account ID. So look up from account. So in there you can find the child relationship name which we're going to use in the query. For the standard object, we use the same as a plural name of a contact. So we're going to use a contact to get a data while querying an account. For the custom object, we will append double underscore R and use that plural name of the child relationship. For example, if I want to get a custom 2 is a parent and custom 1 is a child, then I can use this query to get a data for custom 1 while using a query of a custom 2. So this is what parent to child relationship look like. Let's go to the Salesforce and open a developer console, and let's execute some query for a better understanding. Let's click on the gear icon. Let's click on the developer console. Let's query all the contacts based on the account. So let's write it down: select ID comma name comma select ID first name from contact and from account. So you can see we executed this query, and in the contact section we get all the contacts, like it is an array of that. So it's a list of S object while getting that, and we are getting all the contacts which account have. So this is what inner query for standard object look like. We also know that account is also related with the opportunity. Opportunity is a child for that. So if you want to query that by going on the opportunity object, click there, click on the field relationship, click on the account lookup, and see what is the name for the child relationship. It's the opportunities. So we're going to copy that and we'll come there, and instead of getting this query, I will write ID comma name from opportunities, and we can execute that. So you can see we get the ID of account, name of account, as well as the opportunity section where we have a opportunities. So this is how we query inner query for that. So let's see how we can query the custom object. Let's open one custom object. Let's go to the object manager. Let's search for a department. So if we click on the field and relationship, department is a lookup of an account. So it means that account is a parent. So we can use that department as an inner query. So let's click on the account. So in the account, in the child relationship, you can see it's a department. So what you have to do, you just have to copy this label and come there. And in the query editor, you just have to use that select ID comma name from account, and after the name we will use our inner query like select ID comma name from department, and we have to use a underscore underscore r in the last, and now we can execute the query. So you can see we get the account ID, account name, and departments. Let's see another example. If I go on the object manager, we have to go to the object manager. Then let me search for the expenses. This expenses item is a master data relationship with a travel approval. So what we have to do, we have to query this expense item using a travel approval. So let's go to the developer console. Let's open that. Let's write select id comma name from travel approval. Let's see how many travel approval we have. Okay, so we have a two travel approval. So let's add our inner query, select id comma expense item. So let's click on this travel approval. Let's check for the child relationship. It's a expense items, so we'll use that. Id name from expense items, and after that we will append a underscore r, and we'll close the bracket and click on the execute. So in the one of the travel approval we have a expense item, there is a two expense item, so we get that. So this is how we use a inner query or parent to child relationship to get the data of the child using a parent. So let's move to our next topic, child to parent. So sometime we wanted a few field of the parent record while working with a child, then we go for that child to parent query. For example, we are working with a contact record and we want a information of account shipping address. So this is query, we can use that. If you want an account name, then we can add that also. So this is how we can do for that standard object. For the custom object, you have to do the same with the underscore r to append that, and then we can get that. So let's see in a Salesforce, for example of the child to parent. So let's go to the Salesforce. Let's come there. Let's write a select id comma name from contact, and if you execute that, we can get all the name as well as id of a contacts. Let's go to the object manager. Let's go to the contact. If I go there, so you can see in that API name there is an account ID, so we have to use that. Let's click there, let's copy that, let's go to that, and let's add the account name and let's execute that. So now we have a ID of a contact and name of a contact as well as the account ID. If you want any data of a parent, then what you have to do, you have to just add a account dot name. For standard object, we are not going to add a account id dot name. So like if I execute that, so I get that id name, account id, and account dot name. So if you want any other field of account like account dot type, so if we execute that, we will get the fifth column also, account dot type, and we'll get order data. So if you want to add another, like we can add a account dot industry, so we'll get that also. Let's see how we can do for the custom object. So if we go on the custom object like a department, let's go to the object manager. Let's search for the department. So from there, what you have to do, we have to use this account lookup to get the data from an account. So let's go on the query editor. Let's add a query like select id comma name from department. So let's click on the execute. So we get the id and name of a department. Let's add our API name, account. So we'll add that. Let's click on the execute. So we'll get the data of a account ID. So let's add another scenario like account. Then we have to use the underscore r. So we'll add a underscore r dot name. So if it is a custom field, then we have to use that. Click on that execute. You can see I get the account r dot name, which don't have, it will show a null, but which have a account ID, then it also have a account name, which is required field for the account. So we'll get that. So any other field if you want like industry, then we can use that account underscore r dot industry. Click on the execute. So we get an industry also. This is how we can query the custom fields also relationship. So let's move to our next topic where we talk about the aggregate query. Aggregate query means we want a result in some aggregate way, like we want to count the number of record in a Salesforce, or we want to sum of the total employee salary, or we want some maximum or minimum of that, and we also want to get the average of the data, or we want some count distinct. So these are the 6 functions which we use in the aggregate query to get the data. So let's go to the Salesforce and let's see how we can use this aggregate query. So let's go to Salesforce. Let's open the Salesforce. Let's use one small query like select. Let's use the aggregate function count id from account. So if I click there, so what it do, it will actually give us a only one row and it count how many IDs we have. So let's see other functionality of our aggregate. So let's use a sum. So let's open any object which have a amount. So we know in the opportunity we have a amount. So what we can do, first let's write a select amount from opportunity. So if I click on the execute, so we can see we have a 33 opportunities and we have all this opportunity with the amount. So let's use the sum for that. Let's add a sum function. Let's click on the execute. So total sum of that amount is 8,525,000. So this is how we can use a sum. So if you want a minimum of that amount, then you can use a min instead of a sum. Let's click on the execute. So you can see I get the 15,000 amount, which is minimum of that. Let's also calculate a maximum. So if I click on the max, so 300,000 is a maximum for that. So let's also choose for the average. Let's click on the execute. So average of the whole 33 employees is a 275,000. This is how we can calculate the average. So let's use a group by clause. So let's create a one query where we will going to count a number of account based on a particular industry. So let's create that. Select industry. Let's count the ID from account, group by industry. So we want to be counted on the group by as the industry. So let's click on the execute. So now you can see with no industry there are 5 account, and with one agriculture industry type there is a 1 account. If you go there, there is a 3 account with the energy industry. There is the electronics industry with a 1 account. So this is how we can use the count with a group by. So let's move to our next section where we talk about the polymorphic query. Polymorphic query. So a polymorphic relationship is a relationship between an object where a reference object can be one of a several different type. For example, the who relation field of a task can be a contact or a lead, or a what relation can be any object. So if you work on with the event or task or activity, then you know that there are a who ID and what ID, so which can be used to add different object. For that we will use a polymorphic query. Like if you go on the Salesforce, if you go to the object manager and if I search for the task, if I click on the field and relationship, so in the related to which we called a what ID, you can see it is related to lot of object like a contact, order, campaign, account, opportunity. So the what ID is related to lot of objects, so that's why we use the polymorphic query to get that. So if we go for the who ID, let's search for the who ID. So who ID is related to contact and lead. So if we want that, so if you want like which object it is related to or task is created on which object, so we'll use a polymorphic query for that. Let me create a one query for that. Select ID comma subject. We don't have a name on a task, we have a subject from task where what dot type, we have to use a type equal to account. So we going to reference that account. We can click on the execute. So we can see we have a 2 tasks which are referencing by account. So if you want, we can click there and we can just click on the what ID. We can read that what ID. If I click on that, these are the account ID. So if you want to check like it is related to account or opportunity, then we'll use the in keyword instead of this equal sign. Let me show that. We have to write a in, then in the bracket we have a one account, and with the comma separated we have to write a opportunity, and we have to close that bracket. Let's click on the execute. So currently we have only two tasks which are related to accounts. So let's go in our Salesforce. Let's create one task on the opportunity. Let's search for the opportunity. Let's open this opportunity. Let's create one task. So create a new task. Let's choose a subject as call. Let's choose a due date as 4, and let's click on the save. Let's go to the developer console, and now you have to execute this query. If you have executed once, then you have to use this refresh grid button. Let's click on the refresh grid button. You can see a new task is available on the related to opportunity with the subject to call. So this is how we can use a polymorphic query to get a data. So let's move to our next section, SQL limitation. While working with the SQL, we have to know few limitations. Like while creating our SQL statement, we can't use more than 20,000 character. The next one is that we can't get more than 50,000 record in SQL query while using that query in Apex classes. The number of a DML student we can do is 150 in one transaction, and the number of a DML row we can get 10,000. So this is few SQL limitation which you have to remember that. Thanks for watching this video. If you like this video, please hit a like button, and if you want to learn more about a Salesforce, then you can subscribe this channel. If you have any query, then you can comment down below. I can cover that also, or I can reply on the comment. Thanks for watching.